What's up, guys? This is EDH Evolution. Welcome to our $25 deck tech. We're starting off with John and his Rograkh Kediss commander deck. So we're going to just kind of talk through the deck a little bit and highlight a few of the key cards, and that's pretty much it. We'll show the cards in here somewhere in this area. So with that, John, why did you pick your commanders?
So I picked Roggy because he's quick, fast, and a whole lot of fun. Rograkh, son of Rograkh, or whatever you want to call him.
Rograkh.
He's a 0-drop. He's got First Strike, Menace, and Trample, and also he's a unique one because he has partner. And his partner is going to be Kediss, Emberclaw Familiar, who is a 2-drop. When a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each opponent. He's also a partner. So the plan here is with Roggy and Kediss is to deal damage with Rogga or Kediss and have Kediss just burn everybody. Yeah.
So Rograkh or Kediss even, they swing in, they get through to one player, and the whole table feels the burn. So pretty straightforward mono red aggro.
Yeah.
So the intended win condition is combat damage.
100%.
And it's, I guess, how do you intend to win through with combat damage?
So the basis of this deck is Voltron, and if you're not familiar with the term, Voltron is an artifact equipment-based deck. There's also enchantment Voltron, which you may see in later seasons, but this one's going to go the artifact equipment route, and we're going to equip and swing through, and hopefully Kediss stays on the field long enough to do some serious damage to everybody.
Nice. Is that your only win con, or do you have any others?
Combat damage is the only win con in this deck.
Oh, nice. So what are the strengths of the deck?
The strength of the deck is the average CMC, I believe, on Archidec. You can check the link below. Is I believe the average cost is 3.6 CMC. So turn 3, I'm swinging pretty hard. There's a few 5-drops in this deck, I believe, which we'll talk about one later. And so it's just equip, swing, and hope Kediss is out to do damage.
Do work, yeah. Okay, and so what's the weaknesses of the deck?
The weakness is board wipes, and damage to the entire board, and targeted removal.
Yeah. One good thing he does have going for him, though, is since it's an artifact-based Voltron deck, if somebody clears the board, all his equipment gets to stay around. But because his commanders are so low CMC, he can redeploy pretty quick. So
yeah, it's usually whenever he gets killed 3 or 4 times that I stop using them.
And your zero drop costs 6 mana.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't feel too good. Definitely not the best 6-drop in the game at that point. So okay, well, cool. So you've got 10 cards there that you feel are the most important cards in the deck.
Yes.
At least at this $25 series. So let's go through those real quick. Give them a read. And
so our first card is going to be Blade Reforge. It's a 2-drop legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. The special part of this is equipped creatures, if they're legendary, only cost 3, whereas a normal creature costs 7. This card is sort of the backbone of this, one of the backbones of this deck, because I'm mono red, so I get to run one color base. And I got 30 to 40 of them, so you could have a huge impact on one person if it gets out there quick enough.
So what's your total power that you've seen after the first 3 games? What have you came out power toughness with on that card?
I want to say we had one that was +8/+8, but but then it got blown up as soon as it got equipped.
Yeah.
As soon as it got equipped.
Can't let that happen. Don't want to get hit for 8. The whole table. So, all right, cool. Well, what's next?
Our next one is Blood Mist. It's a
brutal
4-drop enchantment. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, target creature you control gains double strike until the end of turn. So the benefit of this is I swing through with Roggy or Kediss or anybody really. I'm going to combat. I'm giving this guy double strike, and as long as he's Roggy or Kediss, that allows first strike damage and normal combat damage. So that lets Kediss pop off twice.
Yeah. It hurts pretty bad. That's a solid card. And it's what was it, a 2-drop?
It's a 4-drop.
4-drop.
4-drop enchantment. So it's also really hard to get rid of unless it's singularly target removed.
Yeah. Cool. All right. What's next?
Our big boy himself, the meme hammer.
The hammer.
Colossus Hammer.
Yeah.
It is a 1-drop in artifact equipment. The downside is it's a 8-drop or 8 equip cost. But equipped creature gets +10/+10, but loses flying. So it's got a double-edged sword there.
You don't care about flying.
I don't.
Nobody's flying in there.
The upside of this is because Roggy has menace. As long as I can get as long as the opponent only has 1 creature, I'm getting 10 through.
So now you have in that deck also the Fervent Champion, which you can equip that hammer for 3. Is it for free or is it for 3?
It's 3 less, so I'd be equipped for 8.
Okay.
Which is still...
That's still pretty good.
10/10 on turn 5.
So do you have anything in that deck that gives free equip?
So I do have a Brass Squire who did not make the cut of the 10 cards. But Brass Squire is, I think, a 2 or 3 drop who has tap and equip target creature with an equipment.
There you go.
So you
can cheat the hammer.
You can cheat the hammer on anybody. Our next card is Gratuitous Violence. It is a 5-drop enchantment. If a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. So this is interesting because if you have double strike, you're doubling the damage on your first strike, and then you're doubling the damage on your second strike. So you're doing essentially 4 times the damage just in 2 instances of double. So it's double, which is bueno burn.
Yeah, I like that. Bueno burn.
Bueno burn. Coined that.
Yeah.
Our next card is going to be Inquisitioners Flail. It is a 2-drop artifact equipment, of course. If equipped creature would deal combat damage, it doubles that damage instead.
Yep.
And if someone would deal damage to the equipped creature that has Inquisitioners Flail, it does double that damage instead as well.
Yep. So it deals double damage.
But it takes double.
If it blocks, it's going to take double damage. And it only is combat damage that it is doubling both take and
it's combat
receive.
damage only, yep.
Okay, yep.
So, quick question for myself and the viewers. If Kediss had Inquisitor's Flail, would he trigger it?
No, so he's going to trigger on the damage based on somebody else. And
okay, so
it won't activate his trigger twice.
So if you want to play this deck, make sure Kediss is not the one swinging with this. It's someone else.
Yeah. Well, but the way Kediss is worded, since he is a commander,
he would trigger it too.
He would trigger himself, and so he would do double damage. Yep.
So our next card, Masterwork of Ingenuity. You may have Masterwork of Ingenuity enter the battlefield as a copy of any equipment on the battlefield. Anybody's equipment, which is huge because someone might have a shroud equipment or something in case you want to save a creature of yours. You can have it enter that.
Copy somebody else's Swiftfoot boots or somebody else's lightning greaves.
You come in with you might have. I know for sure in this series we've had grafted war gear doubled up. So that's +6/+4. That's just popping for free. So that creature dies, you pop the next one and +6/+4 swing through.
Yeah.
Our next one, which is the only land to make this cut, is Rogue's Passage. It's a land, of course. It enters the battlefield, taps for a colorless, but you can pay 4 and tap it and make a creature unblockable, which is huge on making sure a Voltron gets through.
Yep. And remember, if he gets any commander through, then the whole board's pretty threatened. So that's a good pick.
Our next card is Silent Arbiter. 4-drop, artifact creature. But so his big thing is no more than 1 creature can attack each combat, but also no more than 1 creature can block each combat. And this is kind of a combo piece with Roggy himself because he has Menace.
Yep.
So Menace requires 2 people to block. So as long as you can shut down a board, Roggy can just keep swinging and just pump in metal and steel and kill.
Yeah, so that card did not expect to see it hit the battlefield. Did a lot of work in the first game, so check that out. Another thing it really helped the table with is Charlie, when he's got army of snakes out on the board, it really helps keep that under control. So it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, I guess.
It's got a weird board control for this season for sure, and it's a honeypot card. So with Colossus Hammer, where everyone wants to blow it up because they don't want to limit themselves, but you got to be kind of careful because you don't want Charlie to just swing through with 800 snakes.
Yep.
Our next card is going to be Stratascythe. It's a unique card. It's a 3-drop, but it also has imprint, which is you exile a land card from your library and then shuffle your library. But equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land on the battlefield with the same name as the card. Because I'm mono red,
those mountains, baby.
I exile a mountain, and you never know. It could be a +30/+30 scythe just swinging through. So this with Blackblade Reforge, massive payoffs. But it also allows Blackblade to be a honeypot as long as one of them can get through.
Yep.
And our last of the top 10 cards of the 25 tier is Torbrand, Thane of Redfell, which is a 4-drop legendary creature. He was almost the general for this deck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So if a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent, an opponent you control... We'll try that one again. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +2 instead. Which is great with Kediss. So if you get something with double strike, you hit first, Roggy or whoever's going to attack does their damage +2. And if it's Roggy or Kediss, so they're going to do their damage +2, then Kediss is going to trigger. So you got that damage +2 plus another 2.
Yeah. So
you're getting +4 off Thane with Kediss.
It stacks up pretty quick on you.
Yep.
Really good card for sure.
But that's all. That's my top 10 for the $25 tier Roggy.
Nice.
And it's done some work. It's done some very hard work.
Good picks. If you're interested in that deck, check out the full deck list in the link below, and then go watch the games and see it in action. It's a really good deck. Mono red Voltron's pretty straightforward to pilot. You just beat face as hard as you can and as fast as you can, and hope you come out with a win. So, yeah, that's it. EDH out.